Well, you've been outside today. Maybe you've got your windows open here at 5. Very warm Tuesday night all across Kentuckiana. Right now, you can certainly feel the humidity out there. But tonight, we want you to be aware about tomorrow, a weather impact alert day.
Yep, severe weather is expected around here by mid-afternoon and will last maybe even past the evening news. So hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Connie Leonard.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. Our chief meteorologist, Mallory Schnell, is here now to tell us what we should expect out of this and the timing of the alert.
Hey guys, so we are looking at a very messy setup on Wednesday, and it does look like we could have rounds of thunderstorms throughout the course of the day. The first round will actually roll in sometime during the morning hours. Not everybody will see storms in the morning, but if you do, they could pack a punch. A few of them could be strong to severe, and at the very least carry heavy rainfall and frequent lightning. The second round arrives with the front. That will swing through between about 2 and 8 p.m. tomorrow. So this is why we want you to stay weather alert throughout the entire day on Wednesday. Due to these threats, make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather warnings if they are issued. Max HD satellite and radar, all is dry right now. In fact, we're getting some late day sunshine. And with that, we have tied the daily record high temperature for today's date. 78 degrees set back on this date in 2009. We're currently setting at 78 degrees at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. You'll notice the strength of this warm front. Just take a look at that gradient there. It's 83 in St. Louis, 59 in Des Moines. So there's a lot of fuel for some severe thunderstorms in northern Illinois, northwest Indiana today. And then for us, we do have that potential for some stronger storms tomorrow. Your hourly planner through this evening, temperatures staying warm, we're staying humid, a bit breezy as well. Temperatures in the 70s, and then we are expecting storms to become more widespread, not only in the morning, but more scattered activity for the afternoon. We'll take a full look at your hour-by-hour forecast for the Weather Impact Alert Day coming up in a few minutes.
Mallory, thank you. Our top story at 5, a 16-year-old girl died this morning after trying to cross a busy street in the St. Denis neighborhood.
It happened around 7 this morning. The coroner's office identified the girl as Janiyah Brown this afternoon. That deadly crash happening at the intersection of Cane Run Road and Teakwood Circle.
This is very close also to Farnsley Middle School, and there are at least 2 other Jefferson County Public School bus stops in this area. WHAS11's Travis Breeze and photojournalist Gabby DeGeorge have been at the intersection all day long. They've been talking to people who know Janiyah.
And Travis, you also got some information about JCPS students who might cross Cane Run Road if they feel they need to.
Connie, the information we have right now is that there are no bus stops in this area where someone would need to cross the road. A JCPS spokesperson told me that yes, there is a bus stop here at this intersection on the east side of Teakwood and Cane Run, but it is only for students who live on that east side. As such, there's still a little bit of confusion on what Janiyah Brown was doing when she was crossing the road because she lived on the west side of the street here. There really was just a profound sense of sadness around people today as the coroner's office came by to make the victim notification.
You know, it's not an easy task when someone has to identify a loved one.
Friends and family trying to console each other when the unthinkable happened early Tuesday morning.
This can't happen again.
Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins spoke to Janiyah Brown's family as the police chaplain and coroner went in and out of her aunt's house. Louisville Metro Police say Brown was trying to cross from the west side of Cane Run Road to the east side around 7 a.m. when 2 cars hit her. 2 of Brown's friends agreed to speak about her, but didn't want to show their faces.
We grew a really tight bond. You know, like it's like one of them bonds outside the family. She had just bought her a pink Bible, which was her favorite color was pink.
Brown was hit as she was crossing Cane Run Road, but Councilwoman Hawkins says in speaking to her family, Brown's usual bus stop is actually west down Teakwood Circle, and she doesn't have to cross the busy street.
We're not quite sure if she missed the bus and tried to catch it when it turned around. We're just not quite sure right now.
Hawkins says she's pushed for more streetlights in this area before, but Metro Council can't do much because it's a state road. We noticed there is one streetlight in this area on the west side of Cane Run Road. Records show 2 pedestrians have died on Cane Run Road within a mile of here in the last 2 years.
This is not the first time that something like this has happened.
These friends and family hope Brown's death will lead to more focus on pedestrian safety in the area. I reached out to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for a statement on this incident and if there could be any safety improvements afterwards. I got a response within the last minute. A spokesperson for KYTC says our hearts go out to those involved in this morning's tragic accident. Also that this area, Cane Run Road and the Greenbelt Highway, is currently the focus of a comprehensive, roughly 11-mile corridor study. In Louisville with photojournalist Gabby DeGeorge, Travis Breeze, WHAS11 on your side.
Travis, thanks so much. We continue our team coverage on this issue tonight. School bus stop safety is one major point going to be talked about tonight at the Jefferson County School Board meeting, and that's happening in just about under an hour from now. Yeah,
that meeting comes, as you just heard, after a JCPS student was hit and killed not far from a school bus stop.
WHAS11's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Aspen Hester have been following the recent developments in the district very closely on this.
They are live now outside Van Hoos. And Alex, what can we expect from the board tonight?
Well, Connie, Doug, the JCPS board's agenda was set prior to this morning's tragedy, but now after learning of the death of 16-year-old Janiyah Brown, this resolution holds that much more weight. So the resolution would be a collaboration between the JCPS board, Louisville Metro Government, and LG&E to study the safety of school bus stops and street lighting throughout the district. The study would look at three things. One, current school bus stop conditions, also the closeness of the bus stops to street lights and the functionality of those street lights. Another thing of note for tonight's meeting is the board will be presented an audit that outlines how the district is $188 million in the hole. We first reported on this audit about 2 weeks ago, which identifies areas that they attribute to the budget shortfall. Those include a lack of oversight, relying on non-recurring funds, and a lack of authority on budget decisions. Tonight, we'll hear the board's questions and feedback on this audit for the first time. And the board was also expected to vote on changes to the Exceptional Child Education Division, but that has since been withdrawn from the agenda for tonight. Those changes would have also included cuts to contracted days for the ECE staff. And since the district's last monthly board meeting, some more developments that have happened within the district, and that includes the district announcing the closure of 10 early childhood sites. That's around 30 classrooms, and they did say to us that these cuts to the early childhood sites do not have to do with the budget. And we'll have more on this board meeting tonight. But for now, live at Van Hoos, Alex Dieterer, WHAS 11 on your side.
Alex will continue to follow the story for the WHAS 11 team tonight at 11 as the school board meeting begins at 6. The Kentucky connection to the war, silence and respect last night. Just after 9 o'clock, these scenes right here. This was the scene at the Dover Air Force Base in Delaware as the body of Glendale's Sergeant Benjamin Pennington returned to American soil.
His family was there, off to the side, but also present the Vice President, Secretary of War, and the war's top general. He was identified as the 7th U.S. soldier to die fighting in the Middle East. General Dan Kane earlier this morning talked about Pennington today.
When I met Ben's family last night, his mom, his dad, and his sister, they showed me a picture, a drawing that Ben had made when he was in kindergarten. It was clear all the way back then that Ben wanted to do one thing in his life, and he wanted to serve his country and be a soldier. And to the Penningtons, just know how Ben was absolutely a great one.
The 26-year-old worked with Army Space and Missile Defense Command. He was injured on March 1st, Sunday, March 1st, during an attack by Iran on U.S. troops at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. He died from his injuries on March the 8th. Well, airstrikes continue in Iran as the U.S. and Israel ramp up their operations, destroying mobile missile launchers. On Capitol Hill, Democrats pressing the White House for clarity on the strategy for the future as Iran carries out retaliatory strikes on Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait. Now, survivors of early attacks are recovering from shrapnel injuries. The Pentagon reporting 140 troops wounded, most are minor, but 8 are in serious condition. Thousands of Americans have been stuck in the Middle East after flight cancellations.
One Texas man finally made it home last night on a U.S. government chartered flight. Ryan Blackman stranded after his connecting flight from India was canceled, and he was reunited with his wife and 2 children at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. His journey included emergency bus rides to Saudi Arabia and government chartered flights through Athens and London.
I'm happy to be home and keep my feet here on Texas soil for a little while.
The State Department reports more than 40,000 Americans have returned since February 28th and says it remains in contact with thousands still abroad.
Gas prices in Kentucky are parked at about $3.20 a gallon right now in many areas. They continue to rise across the U.S. As of this morning, the average price of a gallon of gas was $3.54. A week ago, it was $3.11. There could be some relief on the horizon, though. Oil prices fell sharply after President Donald Trump signaled just yesterday that the conflict with Iran is nearing an end, but he did not give a date. If that decline does hold or continues, prices at the pump should follow. WHAS11 will continue to follow the attacks in Iran. The best way to stay up to date is by downloading the free WHAS11 Plus app. Download it for free on your smartphone or smart TV. Right now, police in Shively and Crime Stoppers offering a cash reward for information leading to an arrest in a triple homicide shooting in February of 2025. This happened on the 17th, just after 4:30 p.m. on Crumbs Lane. Shively police heard reports of shots fired and then found Sabri Johnson, Mia Lee, and Simeon Watson with gunshot injuries. They died at the scene. One of the families is giving a $10,000 reward, and Crime Stoppers is giving a $1,000 reward in this case for information if it results in an arrest. You can call 502-582-2583 if you have any information.
Keeping Louisville safe just got a high-tech upgrade. Mayor Greenberg today unveiling the Mobile Emergency Operations Center. It's a rolling command post and is packed with cameras, satellite internet, and a full weather station, giving first responders instant access to information on the scene. Jody Myman, Executive Director of Emergency Services, explained how the center keeps the city prepared and connected.
It can be automatic on certain responses, and it's also going to be requested by agencies when they need something, even as simple things as getting their responders out of the weather and being able to hold meetings at incident scenes where they where they have something that may be in some inclement weather.
Called the MEOK, officials say it's fully staffed and its technology and mobility make it a game changer for Louisville's public safety efforts.
Some parts of Hardin County have seen a lot of growth over recent years, but now a main road to get to the other side of this creek is shut down. Coming up, we'll tell you why the state said they needed to close the bridge and how much it's going to cost to fix.
And here's a look at today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions, $533 million. Powerball, $58 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.